Today's MetroNews television forecast is brought to you by Lou Wendell Marine Sales. We sell family fun.
I'm meteorologist Brandon Weathers. The hot and humid streak will continue at least through Saturday with triple-digit heat index values. We have heat advisories and warnings as of now in effect through Friday. It's not in effect where you can expect a minor heat risk on Wednesday. That's the orange on the map, but major in the red and purples are extreme heat risks. We'll see more of the reds and purples as we push through Thursday and Friday. Those are the 2 days with the greatest concern in terms of any kind of heat-related illness. But through this period, important to practice heat safety. Could see some improvement Saturday coming with some rain chances, and the rain chances will involve a marginal risk for some heavy rain that may bring some localized flooding concerns. For now, high pressure is generally our main influencer, challenging the development of showers and keeping skies clear for the most part. FlyCRW forecast, it starts at home. Hot, humid with occasional storms that will follow you just about anywhere you're traveling to, so can't quite escape the heat this holiday weekend. Make sure you are practicing that heat safety. Panhandle to panhandle forecast, part of the problem is that we don't recover overnight with our temperatures. A low of 76 for Moundsville with clear skies, then some sunshine back to 97 on Wednesday. Even our typical cool spots barely dip below 70 tonight, then we'll top back off well into the 90s, if not some triple-digit territory for Moorfield, for Martinsburg. Looking to Elkins for 69 tonight, Ripley 74, 97 in Ripley for our Wednesday, 91 in Elkins, Snowshoe 84 as a rare cooler spot, 66 in Lewisburg tonight, and then 91 here on Wednesday, which is why Lewisburg isn't in the heat headlines, but still going to be hot there. Again, the worst of the heat through Friday, then we'll enter a more active period over the weekend into next week.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
5, 3.
Rag 57! Rag 57! Hot, hot!
I don't believe what I just saw. Bill McKenzie kicks a 38-yard field goal on the final play of the football game.
5 seconds left in the game. Do you believe in miracles? Yes!
It is a great night to be a Mountaineer wherever you may be.
From the home of the state's land-grant institution, inside the Health Plan Studios, in the Dale B. Miller Building in Morgantown, it's time for the state's most listened-to sports talk show. This is the CityNet Statewide Sportsline. CityNet, cybersecurity experts for the digital age. And now, across the state of West Virginia and beyond, Sportsline is on the air.
Sportsline for Tuesday. Thanks for joining us, and we're all here. Kyle Wiggs, Greg Hunter, Brad Howe. It is 4th of July week, guys, so we're going to get into some golf. A little bit of golf around the state of West Virginia, and we've got that for you, but also we have a guest coming up from Chile.
Skylar Forbes, women's basketball player, one of the new incoming transfers for WVU. She played at Marquette for the last 3 years of her career. She's with Team Canada in the 3-on-3 version of Team Canada down in Chile. And you said it correctly there. I like that, Kyle. Right. Yeah.
So 3-on-3, we'll get the lowdown on that.
And I think what's most remarkable about that, did you realize Chile's in the Eastern time zone?
Well,
it's the same time as
yesterday.
us. So it'd be great.
Down way, way, way down south. All right, so that's all to come on the sports line. And Greg, you had a sit down with the athletic director today.
Yeah, always have enjoyed that. Figured it out. I've done it every year since 1989. Every summer, it's been a rite of passage for me or whatever athletic director has been in the seat, and even have moved offices over the years. Used to be on sort of one end of the Coliseum, second floor. Now they've moved it around, but Ren's always been very generous with his time. All the ADs have over the years, but covered a lot of topics. Obviously, the world of college athletics has changed so much. So we got into some of that, big, heavy proponent. I would say heavy proponent. I think he likes the 5 for 5. I think he just wants some rules that have clarification. And I asked him about some of these federal rules going forward, because there's sort of two groups. Tommy Tuberville has one, proposal out there, and then Ted Cruz and Senator from Washington, I believe, state of Washington, have another one. And they have some differences in them. He said, you know what?
Take either or.
I just want something that put some rules into it. He did have opinions on which one he liked a little bit better, but basically he wants something. I think that's what you hear from a lot of ADs, Brad.
Mm-hmm. You hear from a lot of ADs, but then there's got to be a lot of schools that want to abide by that. And West Virginia certainly would and has been. There's some other schools around the country in certain conferences that doesn't matter what rules are put in place, they're not following it. And that continues to be the biggest hurdle to get through here.
We'll get into some of that as we move along. 304 Talk 304, that is the text line. And we bring into the conversation Joe Brocato of MetroNews Sports. And Joe, good evening.
Hey, good evening, guys.
Let's talk a little bit about the senior amateur championship, which was decided today. And as a matter of fact, Pat Carter wins it for the 7th straight year. And we're going to visit with Pat here coming up shortly. Another thing we're going to talk with you about is the West Virginia Junior Amateur Championship, which returns to Canaan Valley. It started today, and you're going to go down and cover the final round on Thursday, so we'll get the winner of that event on Thursday as well. But the Senior Amateur Championship wrapped up today with Pat Carter. Had the lead the entire round, right, and held off the rest of the competition?
So this is the Senior Open Championship. There is a Senior Amateur Championship later in the calendar year. Professionals are welcome to participate in this event. And as you said, Pat Carter of Huntington, a 13-time amateur champion in his own right. He wins this tournament for the 7th year in a row. Had to rally on the final hole. He trailed Ian Patrick of Huntington by 1 shot going into the final hole, but Carter was able to make up that deficit with a par on 18 to finish the 36-hole event at 4 under par. So Pat Carter wins this event for the 7th consecutive year.
So the Senior Open Championship goes to Pat Carter, and he's been a long-time guest on the show. We'll catch up with him in just a couple of minutes. All right, Joe, the West Virginia Junior Amateur, round 1 going on today.
And the first round of this 54-hole event or 36-hole event, depending on the division that the young golfers will be competing in. The boys' championship and the girls' championship divisions, both of those are 54-hole events that will wrap up on Thursday. There are smaller individual younger classes that compete in just a 36-hole tournament that will conclude tomorrow. But for the championship divisions, that's the ones that we've mostly been focusing on. And Tommy Evans of Washington High School, a rising senior there, he has the lead after round 1 on the boys' side. Shot a 4 under par round of 68. Alex Randolph from Bridgeport is 2 shots back. He opened with a 70. 2 golfers are currently tied for 3rd place, with a couple of golfers still on the course and just wrapping up. Cam Fallon of Parkersburg South High School, and Kyle, obviously you've called a number of his basketball games throughout the year. He is one of the guys that is tied at 1 under par, 3 shots back, and Bentley Shirky of Barbersville also 3 shots back after round 1.
And Joe, the competition is significantly enhanced by you mentioned Tommy Evans, who's committed to WVU out of Washington High School and is one of the best-known amateur golfers in the state, but you've got some other guys that perhaps haven't competed in this the last couple of years, so the field seems to be really, really deep this year.
If you look up and down the list, you've got pretty much the who's who of all the top golfers that have really accomplished lots on both the high school circuit, but also the state junior circuit. You have both of the Odell brothers from Hurricane. Parker Odell is currently tied for 15th place at 3 over par. It was a bit of a tough day for Carson Odell, who recently just committed to play at Marshall University. He was the state high school class quad A champion this past year. He opened with a round of 6 over, but with 2 rounds still to play, there's certainly a lot of time to make up that deficit. So that's where things stand on the boys' side. On the girls' side, you have 2 tied at the top. Audrey Kerr, a rising senior at Bridgeport High School, opened with an 8 over par round. Alexis Green from Charleston, also 8 over par, so they have 36 holes remaining in that tournament to complete.
All right, the West Virginia Junior Amateur Championship. I know you follow this. You follow the World Cup really, really close as well. So get us up to date on what's happened today so far.
Halftime, France currently with a 1-0 lead on Sweden. So Kylian Mbappe adding to his outstanding goal total so far. He is now the World Cup all-time leader in knockout stage goals. Of course, that could easily be passed by some of the other guys that are currently competing. And France has actually just scored again early in the second half to go up 2-0 on Sweden. Earlier in the day, Erling Haaland with a goal for Norway in the late stages as Norway knocked off Ivory Coast by the final of 2-1. Mexico and Ecuador are set to play at 9 o'clock tonight in the last match of the 3 scheduled for today.
Yeah, that should be a good one. Mexico and Ecuador. Joe, thanks. We appreciate it, and we'll talk to you again later in the week. Again, Joe's headed down to cover the latter stages of the West Virginia Junior Amateur Championship going on at Canaan Valley, and future Mountaineer Tommy Evans from Washington High School, the defending champ there, and one of the certainly one of the favorites to win it again this year. So amateur golf. And as we mentioned, the Senior Open champion for the 7th straight year, Pat Carter, he wins that event today. We'll hear from him when we return. Text line is open 304-TALK-304, and a little bit later on, Skylar Forbes, member of the WVU women's basketball team, competing at the FIBA 3-on-3 Nations League with Team Canada. So she'll join us as well. This is the CityNet statewide sports line. CityNet is West Virginia's local internet provider. High-speed, reliable fiber internet probably right at your front door. Now is the perfect time to connect. Local customer support you can trust. Fast, reliable fiber internet built for everyday life. When it's high-speed internet you need, CityNet.net connects, protects, and perfects.
Hey, this is Brad Howe for your local internet provider, CityNet. For years, rural communities in West Virginia waited for reliable, high-speed internet. Now, fiber is most likely at your front door. Public investment helped build the opportunity, and CityNet delivered the service to homes and businesses just like yours. With free equipment, free installation, no contract, and local support you can count on, switching to fiber has never been easier. Fast downloads, smooth streaming, better connections for work, school, and everyday life. When it's high-speed internet you need, CityNet.net connects, protects, and perfects.
Answering a text or phone call while driving. Seems pretty harmless, right? But in the 5 seconds you took your eyes off the road to respond, you missed the girl riding her bike across the street. You missed the dog who darted into the road. And you missed the stop sign. And while it was just a ticket this time, it could have been worse. In fact, more than 700 people are injured in distracted driving crashes each day. Keep yourself and others safe. Don't drive distracted. Just drive. This message was brought to you by the West Virginia Governor's Highway Safety Program.
If a fire occurred in your home, would your smoke alarms work? Don't wait for a tragedy to find out. Smoke alarms are designed to give you and your family the precious seconds you need to safely escape. Test your smoke alarms every month by pressing the test button until the alarm sounds. Depending on the type of battery in your smoke alarm, you may need to change the batteries at least once a year or whenever the low battery warning chirps. And never remove the batteries for any reason. Remember, having working smoke alarms is not only a good idea, it's the law. A message from the West Virginia State Fire Marshal's Office.
Live from the Health Plan Studios, the CityNet statewide sports line returns in 2 minutes on MetroNews, the voice of West Virginia.
Longer days, warmer drives, and better deals at Dan Cava GMC. Hit the road in one of our new luxury GMC Acadias. Take your pick from our massive selection. Now up to $5,500 off select new Acadias and 3.9% for 60 months. The great deals continue with our large selection of quality pre-owned vehicles. All this and more at Dan Cava GMC in Bridgeport. Shop the road.
Looking for a show that talks about everything? You found it.
By the way, I'm really happy to talk about this as opposed to Ryan's opinion that being a sports fan is a bad thing.
He said that it kept him from being stressed about it, not that it was a bad thing. They didn't have the stress. And, I mean, I've seen you pace.
Yeah, you're only 30 and you look like that.
So true. So
Join Dave Weekly and Coop weekdays for Hotline on MetroNews Television.
I'm Sean Kovich, Mountaineer Golf Coach. When disaster strikes your home, business, or golf game, call the restoration company the Mountaineers call. Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration.
On the next State of Minds.
The number of users of AI just continues to grow every day, and the complexity of the tasks that people use them for. We are members of community, and we want to be hiring one of the community members or many of the community members where we go. And that's very important to us.
Sportsline for Tuesday. Thanks for joining us. Still to come, Skylar Forbes from Chile, member of the WV women's basketball team playing in an international competition. With us now is the winner, 7 consecutive wins in this event, the West Virginia Senior Open. Pat Carter wins that today. And Pat, good evening to you. Thanks for joining us on the Sportsline again.
Hey, thanks for having me.
We appreciate your time. All right, take us through the final round. You had the lead, lost the lead, and then get it back there very, very late. What was it like coming down the stretch for you?
Well, kudos to Ian Patrick. I mean, he played amazingly. He birdied, three really good holes coming in, and had a one-shot lead, and unfortunately had some trouble on the last hole. But it's a little different circumstance as to how I won this one. But I'll still take it, and that's just kind of the way golf is.
Certainly it is. And are you a guy who scoreboards watches a little bit? Do you know what's happening around you and what exactly you have to have, or are you just worried about your own shot?
Well, a little bit of both. Chris Slack was keeping me informed on how Ian was doing, and he had informed me that Ian had birdied 17 to take a one-shot lead, and I was in a little bit of trouble on 17, so I was just trying to make par to kind of hang in there, and unfortunately I did, but then things happened on the 18th hole, and I wasn't even aware of what happened actually until I got in into the middle of the last hole, and they had told me what happened with Ian, and it's a shame because he played so well that last round.
Mm-hmm. As Kyle mentioned, Pat, when you came on 7 straight of these, I'm interested in your motivation at this point to keep coming back. You've won so many different tournaments in West Virginia amateur golf over the years. What's the motivation to keep coming in this event?
Well, that's a great question because I've been battling some pretty severe back issues here this year, and I went right down to the wire, and Slack was like, "Hey, should I put you in?" Chris Slack, our executive director, I love him, I was like, "Yeah, go ahead and put me in." I said, I might back out at the last minute, but I'll try to play. And I got treatment on my back last week, and fortunately everything kind of worked out. But I love the competition, but I've always loved that, and that's what has always driven me to play golf. It's competing against the best in the state is always something that that has really motivated me.
So through the years and through the decades, how has your game changed? Obviously your body's older, right? You're older, so you probably can't drive it like you used to. Do you have to make adjustments or practice in other areas to make up for some of that?
Well, that's a great point. I don't drive it as long or as well as I used to. I think as everyone gets older, you kind of, if you want to compete, you got to try to find a way, to get there. And I fortunately, my short game was great this week. My putting was really good. My driving wasn't the most awesome, but somehow, I was able to get it done.
So how do you keep up with your game even after, 30-some years at this level? I mean, do you still practice as much as you used to, or are you out there as much, or you just go on a lifetime of memory?
Well, I would like to say that I practice as much, but and I would, if I'm healthy, that I would get out there and try to grind it out and still be out there with the young guys. But the bottom line is, my back has not been good. I have a bad knee, so my practice has been limited. So, I really don't want to, throw myself into back spasms or anything like that. So, I just kind of showed up this week, and fortunately, things went my way.
So a little bit of muscle memory there.
Well, that's pretty good muscle memory.
Yeah.
Just show up and win a 7 straight.
I think maybe a little bit of muscle memory, but a little bit of luck as well. So, Lady Luck has always been a big part of my life as well. So
yeah, as every champion knows, right? It's part of it. All right, hey, I want to go back to this motivation thing again for a second, Pat. So now take us through motivation during individual rounds. So, like for example, this week you thought maybe you weren't going to play, so you show up on T1 and you start going, and the round's going along. Are you playing kind of pressure-free because you weren't necessarily supposed to be here, or does then it kick in and you suddenly, I've won 6 straight, I got to win this? How do you manage it within each tournament, the motivation?
Well, I put pressure on myself, but to do well. But no matter what, because regardless of how I feel, I'm still putting myself under the expectations that I'm going to do the same things I've done, over the years. Mm-hmm. Now, whether or not my body allows me to do that is one thing, but like I said, I was very fortunate to the finish of the first round. I hold a 79-yard shot and birdied 17 and 18, to be in position to be in contention, today. So, and then, today I just kind of, got off to a great start, and then, it ended up being enough to hold on, and with like I said, unfortunately with the misfortune from Ian on the last hole.
So 13 West Virginia amateurs, 7 consecutive senior opens now. You've been winning tournaments since the 1990s. Golf, the camaraderie is as big as anything. Are you still playing with some of the same guys that you started with, or do you find a new group to practice and play with? How has that all worked?
Oh, absolutely. We have our own little group that we all hang out with, but it's a little fraternity to say, everybody, pulls for each other. We really do. And, I've gotten so many messages today, congratulating me, and it just means so much to me, that people around the state, see, what it takes and the time over the years, to put it in to actually win a golf tournament.
Well, we congratulate you, and we certainly appreciate your time. You've probably been coming on this show since the 1990s when you first started winning amateur tournaments.
Well, he's like a co-host by now, as many times we've had Pat on.
Well, I'm not above, sitting there with a microphone every once in a while. But.
Yeah, come on in anytime.
No, but every time I appreciate you guys. Anytime that somebody wants to interview me, it means the world to me that that people actually do care.
Well, again, congratulations, and it's certainly good to hear from you again.
Well, thank you so much for taking the time to put me on the air.
Pat Carter there, 7-time consecutive West Virginia Senior Open champion.
Remarkable run, right? You don't talk amateur golf in this state without saying Pat's name, and I'm only half joking that he's a co-host at this point as many times we've had him on after winning an event.
All right, that's a lot of golf here the first half of the show. We're going to talk women's basketball when we return. Stay with us. Again, the text line open 304-TALK-304. We've got more coming up from the Health Plan Studios. It's the CityNet statewide sports line. We're back right after this.
The WVU Medicine Transplant Alliance exists because of one extraordinary act, the gift of an organ. Each heart and kidney transplant represents a donor's legacy, a gift powerful enough to turn imminent loss into renewed life. Our dedicated transplant team honors that gift with expert, compassionate care before, during, and long after the transplant. Learn more about organ donation and the life it creates at registerme.org/WVU Medicine.
Answering a text or phone call while driving. Seems pretty harmless, right? But in the 5 seconds you took your eyes off the road to respond, you missed the girl riding her bike across the street. You missed the dog who darted into the road. And you missed the stop sign. And while it was just a ticket this time, it could have been worse. In fact, more than 700 people are injured in distracted driving crashes each day. Keep yourself and others safe. Don't drive distracted. Just drive. This message was brought to you by the West Virginia Governor's Highway Safety Program.
We are there for you, to care for you at the health plan. We are here for you.
For over 4 decades, we've been rooted deep inside West Virginia. Through thick and thin, supporting local families and businesses. Proudly serving your neighborhood since 1979. Your trusted partner in the community.
The health plan, we are here for you.
Live from the Health Plan Studios, the CityNet statewide sports line returns in 2 minutes on MetroNews, the voice of West Virginia.
Today's MetroNews television forecast is brought to you by Lou Wendell Marine Sales. We sell family fun.
I'm meteorologist Brandon Weathers. The hot and humid streak will continue at least through Saturday with triple-digit heat index values. We have heat advisories and warnings as of now in effect through Friday. It's not in effect where you can expect a minor heat risk on Wednesday. That's the orange on the map, but major in the red and purples are extreme heat risks. We'll see more of the reds and purples as we push through Thursday and Friday. Those are the 2 days with the greatest concern in terms of any kind of heat-related illness. But through this period, important to practice heat safety. Could see some improvement Saturday coming with some rain chances, and the rain chances will involve a marginal risk for some heavy rain that may bring some localized flooding concerns. For now, high pressure is generally our main influencer, challenging the development of showers and keeping skies clear for the most part. FlyCRW forecast, it starts at home. Hot, humid with occasional storms that will follow you just about anywhere you're traveling to, so can't quite escape the heat this holiday weekend. Make sure you are practicing that heat safety. Panhandle forecast, part of the problem is that we don't recover overnight with our temperatures. A low of 76 for Moundsville with clear skies, then some sunshine back to 97 on Wednesday. Even our typical cool spots barely dip below 70 tonight, then we'll top back off well into the 90s, if not some triple-digit territory for Moorfield, for Martinsburg. Looking to Elkins for 69 tonight, Ripley 74, 97 in Ripley for our Wednesday, 91 in Elkins, Snowshoe 84 as a rare cooler spot, 66 in Lewisburg tonight, and then 91 here on Wednesday, which is why Lewisburg isn't in the heat headlines, but still going to be hot there. Again, the worst of the heat through Friday, then we'll enter a more active period over the weekend into next week.
Sportsline for Tuesday night. We appreciate you joining us. It is the CityNet statewide sports line. We're inside the Health Plan Studios. Since 1979, the Health Plan has called West Virginia home. From humble beginnings, they've grown alongside West Virginia, becoming a part of its fabric. For over 4 decades, they've been here through thick and thin, supporting local families and businesses, proudly serving West Virginia for over 40 years. The health plan we are working on, contacting Skylar Forbes. Of course, we know she's in Chile representing her team, native of Canada, playing in the FIBA 3-on-3 Women's Series. And this is something she's done before. She's competed in Vienna 2025 as a member of the under-18 Canadian national team, also in 2022. So something she's used to. And, guys, this women's basketball roster completely rebuilt in a very, very short period of time. And among the players added a proven scorer in Skylar Forbes, who's already a 1,000-point career scorer.
Was really outstanding at Marquette, Brad, and it's certainly going to be one of those that Mark Kellogg's going to build this year's squad around.
Yeah, she's a significant scorer, one of the leaders, if not the leader on this Team Canada team. But last year, top 5 percentile in points per game in the nation. So this is a player that can come in and score the basketball. In fact, had a game winner last night for Team Canada that we'll ask her about. Go ahead and give her a shot there. We're going to try a little audio only on this and see if she's available for us right now.
Skylar, are you there? Can you hear us? Nope, we'll go ahead. I'll tell you what, we'll take the break and we'll hook up with Skylar. Again, we're going international here, which we've done before, but a little bit more tricky. So we'll take a break. We'll catch up with Skylar coming up when we return. We're right back on the CityNet Statewide Sportsline.
Ready to make this boating season unforgettable? Head to Lou Wendell Marine Sales, family owned and operated for over 40 years and West Virginia's largest Avalon pontoon dealer. Lou and his sons are boating experts from sales to service to repairs. And right now, their lot is packed with incredible inventory and some of the best deals of the season. Whether it's weekends on the lake or sunset cruises with the family, Lou Wendell Marine Sales has your perfect boat waiting. Because they don't just sell boats, they sell family fun. Visit LouWendellMarineSales.com today.
If a fire occurred in your home, would your smoke alarms work? Don't wait for a tragedy to find out. Smoke alarms are designed to give you and your family the precious seconds you need to safely escape. Test your smoke alarms every month by pressing the test button until the alarm sounds. Depending on the type of battery in your smoke alarm, you may need to change the batteries at least once a year or whenever the low battery warning chirps. And never remove the batteries for any reason. Remember, having working smoke alarms is not only a good idea, it's the law. A message from the West Virginia State Fire Marshal's Office.
We are there for you, to care for you at the health plan. We are here for you.
For over 4 decades, we've been rooted deep inside West Virginia. Through thick and thin, supporting local families and businesses. Proudly serving your neighborhood since 1979. Your trusted partner in the community.
The health plan. We are here for you.
Live from the Health Plan Studios, the CityNet Statewide Sportsline returns in 2 minutes on MetroNews, the voice of West Virginia.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
You know CityNet is West Virginia's leading technology company. Whether we're managing IT infrastructures, protecting the critical data and networks of our region's businesses, or providing fiber broadband, TV, and phone services, we are your go-to experts. We're also a strong partner in the communities in which we serve. CityNet, your trusted technology partner. Learn more about us, visit citynet.net.
We are there for you, to care for you at the health plan. We are here for you.
The health plan proudly supports our active and healthy communities and has been your most trusted carrier for over 40 years. Log on to healthplan.org for more information.
We are there for you, to care for you at the health plan. We are here for you.
So are we trying it again? Setting that statewide sports line, Kyle Wiggs, Greg Hunter, Brad Howe trying to hook up here with Skylar Forbes from Chile. And let's try this one more time. Skylar, can you hear us?
Can you hear me?
Hey, we've got you. How are you? Skylar, can you hear us? Nope, I don't think it's going to work, guys. Too bad.
Well, shoot, we might have to try this again tomorrow. I was looking forward to talking to her. She's having a heck of a tournament down there in Chile.
Yeah, and again, trying to hook up from Chile, but yeah, it's a great event, and it's a great honor for her to represent her country, which of course something she's done before.
So, Brad, you say she hit a game winner last night?
Yeah, she hit a game winner last night. I'd like to hear more details on that. The details down there have been sparse, Greg. It's been difficult to find information, but she's having a great tournament scoring wise. And Kyle, as you mentioned, she's done this before with Team Canada on 3-on-3. So it's a little different game. Those are short games, right? A 10-minute clock, 12-minute shot clock. So it's a little bit different, but we'll have to circle back and see if we can get her.
All right, we'll see if certainly we'll get back with her. But it's interesting because this team assembled for a while, and you had an opportunity to kind of catch up with them last week.
Yeah, we did. Everybody but Skylar was in attendance at the Mountaineer at the basketball practice facility for the women's team as Mark Kellogg putting so much of a really rebuilt team. Just two members of last year's squad, and Gia Cook and Maddie Parrish, have returned, but a lot of new pieces. Skylar Forbes certainly one of the major new pieces, but we've talked about it throughout the week, Brad, since we saw them. There are a lot of these new members of this club that look like they've got a lot of ability to continue West Virginia on the path that they've been on in recent years.
Yeah, and she's one of the most highly coveted transfers in this class. I mentioned her scoring ability last year. She's also really efficient in fast breaks. What's that sound like, right? A Mark Kellogg team, you get her out. But then here's another one that jumps out. I mean, she's kind of a perfect Mark Kellogg player. She's the top 3 percentile in the country each of the last 2 years in block shots. So great size at 6'3", so she can block shots on the defensive end and is a prolific scorer offensively.
And with that falling through, at least for the time being, we've got time for your text, 304-TALK-304. And I know, Greg, you brought up the two bills that are going kind of head-to-head, the Cruz bill, the Tommy Tuberville bill. This texter says he believes it'll be the Cruz bill in the Senate that will become law. The SEC and the Big Ten are going to raid the ACC by the end of the year. Pitt, etc., not paying $100 million to leave the ACC, then pay an entry fee into the Big 12 and leave behind all the cash fees exiting schools that must pay. So one thing this won't prevent, right, is another round of conference expansion.
Well, no, that's not necessarily true. In the bill, there's some provisions that prevent that exact thing that the texter's talking about. So, again, there's a million changes coming to this if it passes through. But one of the things that is in there now is it does try and put a hold on raiding other leagues and changing this conference realignment thing.
Yeah, in the Cruz bill. I don't think
Correct.
the Tuberville bill includes
I'm not sure the Tuberville
that.
has much chance, does it?
No, it doesn't sound like it in seeing things, but it does appear that the Senate has an opportunity or the possibility that the Senate will pass Ted Cruz's bill. But what it does in the House, that's at this point, WVU officials still uncertain as to if it'll get through the House, so they do have confidence it can get through the Senate. So, again, I think, from Ren Baker on through, they just want something that provides some stability going forward.
But the two largest conferences, the SEC and the Big Ten, are dead set against anything coming down the pike that would take away their advantage.
Yeah, that's part of what you're dealing with here, right? You've got two conferences right now that know they're in a different economic spot than everybody else, so they're not going to be willing. It's the more apt comparison here, guys. It's more like Major League Baseball. right? The Yankees aren't doing anything that are going to help the Pirates out. And so that's what's happening here is the advantaged financial folks aren't doing anything to help anybody else or come together as a collective group. And until you can get people on the same page, at the very least to agree to follow the rules that are in place. Never mind helping everybody else. Just follow the rules that are in place. Until you get an agreement on that, a lot of this stuff is doomed to fail.
Texter says, in 45 years of following WVU, I can't think of a better overall sports year. Would you say this is one of the best, if not the best, sports years we've ever had? And that is all-encompassing. That, again, that's 2 regional events that came to campus. Now, obviously, the football team was down, didn't make a bowl first year of a rebuild. The basketball team missed the NCAA tournament. But in terms of the so-called non-revenue sports, it was a success pretty much all the way around. I wouldn't say it's the greatest year ever, because football and men's basketball weren't necessarily a part of it. But in terms of the non-revenue sports, it might be the greatest year we've seen.
I mean, that's the thing. I mean, how much more weight do you put into football and men's basketball when they have success in 2005, for instance, in what that they did in those years?
Well, there's a couple things. It's historic in terms of hosting. You hosted 4 different NCAA events, men's and women's soccer, women's basketball, and baseball. The women's basketball and baseball were super emotional and high profile, and you won a national championship in rifle. So, yeah, I think if you talk in Olympic sports, it was one of the very best years. All right, let's give this one more shot. Go ahead and try. Skylar can hear us in Chile. Now we'll see if we can hear her coming back. Let's see if this one works.
All right, Skylar, do you have us?
I can hear you guys.
Hey, all right.
Third time's a charm.
Got it. Yay.
Third time's a charm.
Credit Skylar there. She's been grinding down there in Chile getting us hooked up. So thank you, Skylar. Good work.
All right, great. We still got over 10 minutes, so we got plenty of time to visit with you and get to, again, your game-winning shot last night. Kind of describe the situation there and how it all happened.
I mean, we were a little kind of razzled, didn't really know kind of where to go with it. Obviously, with 3-on-3, you can't be coached by your coach, so she kind of just sits in the stands quiet, kind of on us to figure out how to draw up an end-of-game play. And we were going to run this one play, but obviously we didn't have enough time. And so we were just like, let's just get a shot up. Worst comes to worst, we get the ball back in overtime. So we literally just had me at the top of the key, and I just shot it, and luckily it went in.
So, Skylar, watching these games, it looks like a much different form of basketball, besides just a number of players on the floor, half court, all those type of things. Is it a different skill set? How different is it from 5-on-5?
I'd say it's pretty different. I think the people that play 3-on-3 are all very versatile people. You don't really have someone who's like a designated back-to-the-back post, or, people that don't really succeed well beyond the arc. It's kind of like you have to have a mix of almost everything in order to kind of play and move freely and flow off of each other. So I would say in that aspect, it's pretty different, and the pace is extremely different. It's so much quicker. Shot clock is shorter. You don't really have time to think. So you just kind of got to go, and hope that you guys are all really on the same page.
WVU women's basketball player Skylar Forbes is our guest, joining us from Chile, where she's part of the Canadian 3-on-3 team. Let's talk about that and the difference in that. A 12-second shot clock, you mentioned the shorter clock, 10-minute game clock. How has this helped you? How does playing 3-on-3 refine you or push you forward or help you get ready for the 5-on-5 game? What translates?
I would say definitely pace translates. It's a conditioner. 3-on-3 always has been. So from that standpoint, just being able to be in that physical shape, but also from the mental aspect, I'd say you don't have much time to think or kind of dwell on the last shot. So for me, even playing last year, I was kind of able to go back to school, back to college ball, and have that same mindset of it's okay, like you got the next one, and kind of just be able to jump from one shot to the other, jump from offense to defense, defense to offense. So, I mean, I would say those two are the biggest things.
So where are we in this tournament? Your game winner advanced you last night. This goes through the end of the week. Where are you, and where does your team sit?
I actually have not looked at the rankings. But we play just 3 more games, 3 more stops. We will continue with pool play. Always guaranteed the first 2 games. If you win both, you play the winner of the other pool. And so we've made it to the final game 2 out of the 3 days so far, and we've lost to USA both times, which is unfortunate. But we're hoping to get better as the week goes on.
So, Skylar, your move to West Virginia, what was it that you decided, hey, Mark Kellogg's program is going to be the best fit for me in the future?
I mean, I loved the vibe that they gave. I loved the familial aspect. They were one of the first colleges to recruit me out of the portal. Even before I could kind of talk to them myself, they were talking to my coaches that I had in high school, et cetera. I just loved the winning aspect, the culture that they had, the relationships that the girls had with the coaches and the relationships that the girls had with each other. And it was something that I knew I wanted to be a part of. Morgantown, too, it's a college town, so it's all solely focused on West Virginia sports. And that's something that kind of caught my eye because it's like there's so many people to go support, men's and women's basketball or football or baseball or whatever. And the fan base was something that I knew I wanted to kind of be able to experience and just be able to win in just a winning culture. So, yeah.
Skylar, you seem, right before you came on while we were trying to connect you, we were talking, I think you might be a perfect Mark Kellogg player from assistant standpoint. You were top 5 percentile nationally in points per game, but you're also top 3% nationally in block shots. So both ends of the floor, you can get it done. You can get out on fast breaks and score. I would assume system of play, like getting up and down offensively and the defensive havoc that's created, that system had to be really attractive, didn't it?
Oh, absolutely. I love playing defense. I take a lot of pride in it, and to know that, they're called Press Virginia, it kind of just excites you. So it was something I knew I wanted to be a part of for sure.
So 5 rebounds per game, and as Brad mentioned, almost 2 block shots per game. 2 years in a row, you've led your league in block shots. That's really a specific skill, especially for someone like you who's 6'3". So how do you work on that? How do you refine that skill?
I mean, I feel like a lot of it is also based on timing. I think sometimes I get caught in fouling and all that. So being able to refine that in the sense of if I don't have that advantage to be able to block that shot, making sure I'm steady and staying strong on defense so that, I'm not drawing fouls and I'm not having to go sit out for X amount of time. And just being rooted in the foundation of what they're going to teach us.
So, Skylar, explain your offensive game for us. At 6'3", our thought is back to the basket, post player, but you'll take threes, you step out. Explain your game for us.
I would say I'm very versatile. I like to score the basketball, as a lot of college players do. But I think for me, being able to be long and have the skill set that I have has been very beneficial for me. I just like to do a lot of everything. I like to maneuver in the post. I'm not more so of a traditional back-to-the-back post player. One of my favorite aspects of my game is my threes. So it's like that's something that I'm in the gym making sure I do towards the evening time of making sure I'm getting out my shots or working on my ball handling. So, I mean, I would say just kind of all around. Layups, post work, threes, working on my mid-range, but we're getting there. But yeah.
Well, I've got you, in today's day and age, again, you're like a perfect fit for what basketball is now, where there's so much talk about rim and 3 rate. That's really you. You're the walking example of that. If I've done my math right, I've got you at 85% of your shots were either at the rim or 3. So you're getting the most highly effective, efficient shots you can get. You're the walking billboard for rim and 3 rate, aren't you?
I would hope so.
What was your portal experience like? Portal opens April 6th, and it was about a week that you signed on here. Two-part question. What was that experience like for you personally, and were you keeping up with other players who had signed or agreed to come to West Virginia? Did that play a part, maybe some of the other athletes that were signing on?
For me personally, the portal process was incredibly overwhelming, very stressful, but it was such a like I had such of like a grateful feeling towards it. Just being able to be in a position where I could have all these schools reaching out to want me to go play for them. So I would say from there, obviously grateful, super overwhelming having my phone blow up, whether I'm in class or like I'm taking a test or getting a workout in, something. But from the standpoint of even talking to some of the girls, I didn't really like reach out to anybody. No one really reached out to me. It was kind of just like a lot of us kind of just got grouped together. I wasn't really familiar with anyone. But I mean, when we all got there, a lot of us just kind of clicked. So it was really nice feeling. I'm really close with two of the girls so far, and I mean, all of us just get along. All of us are on the same page, and all of us just kind of want the best feeling for each other and for us to succeed with where we're at. So it's been incredible.
Yeah. Have you been in Morgantown much? I mean, between your experience, with what you're doing now and leaving Marquette, how much time have you gotten with your new team?
I've actually had a good chunk of time. I left Wisconsin and went straight to Morgantown to move in. I had some visa issues, so I just kind of had to stick it out for a little bit. But my mom was able to come down and move me in. And then I spent the first like 3.5 weeks with the team before I left. So we basically got through a full summer session, and I was grateful to be there. So I mean, I spent a good chunk of time in Morgantown and a good chunk of time with the girls, getting out, adventuring, doing all that fun stuff.
We're going to get you out of here in just a minute, but real quick, let's go back to where you are now in Chile, dude. Do I have this right? You're playing twice tomorrow, 3:20 Eastern, and then again at 5:10? Does that sound right?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, okay. So if fans want to watch you, if you go to the FIBA 3v3 or 3x3 and search it on YouTube, it'll pop up. These games are all live. So 3:20 tomorrow Eastern time, Skylar will play Chile, and then again at 5:10 against Argentina. So we'll be able to tune in and watch.
You're
Awesome.
You're a Mountaineer now, but what does it mean to you to represent your country?
Oh, there's no greater feeling. To wear Canada across my chest, it's obviously one of the best feelings in the world, and I think it shows. I mean, for everyone who puts it on their chest, the hard work that you go through, all the ups and downs, and to be able to represent your country, go out there, play your hardest, and be able to come back and say that you had this experience and you got to achieve this with the people that you're with. It's nothing short of incredible and amazing.
I'm sorry. Best food you've had in Chile that you've never experienced before?
Oh, I haven't tried anything new, but I heard their empanadas are. I have yet to try.
That's a good question. You didn't ask her about poutine? She's from Canada. You got to ask her about poutine.
Oh, I love it. It's so good.
With you, Skylar. With you. And I'm not even from Canada, and I'm with you.
That's good to know.
Well, very good. Thank you for persevering with us. Your tenacity shone through, got us on the air, and got you on the air with us, and we certainly appreciate that.
Of course. Thank you guys for having me.
Thanks very much. Skylar Forbes there from Chile, part of the FIBA 3-on-3 event that's going on. So that was fun.
That was great. Yeah, and you're right. She had good perseverance there to stay with it, and that was like multiple offensive rebounds for her on the putback to finally get that there, and we got home. She's going to be fantastic. We talked about some of the numbers right there, but Coach Kellogg and the staff is really high on Skylar, and you can see why. She's going to be a big part of this team.
Yeah, 10 new players brought in, and a roster rebuilt in a period of about 2 weeks, which is amazing. But that's par for the course these days, right? That's what you have to do. So. Again, Skylar Forbes, a big part of the future of this Mountaineer women's basketball program for the season coming up, and we certainly appreciate her time. So a lot of golf today, a lot of women's basketball.
Now I want an empanada.
Yeah.
Can you go get one somewhere?
I'm sure there's somewhere probably that's maybe not quite as good. All right, guys, good job, good show. We appreciate it, and we're back tomorrow. I believe all three of us will be here. And maybe another special guest or two with might have some rather interesting breaking news for some of our affiliate stations along the line. So stay tuned for that tomorrow. That's the Sports Line. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. And we're back tomorrow night, Wednesday night on the CityNet Statewide Sports Line.
From the Health Plan Studios, the CityNet Statewide Sports Line is an exclusive production of the MetroNews Radio Network. All rights reserved.